everyone at 12 News Valley Dish. I'm your host, Tramai. Andy is here, and we are ready to make us Picadillo Empanadas. You can find the recipe on our website, valleydish.azcentral.com. Here are the ingredients we are going to be using today for the empanada dough. You will need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/3 cup of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of warm water, and a 1/4 cup of oil for frying. For the picadillo, you will need 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 small onion, 1 red bell pepper, 3 garlic cloves, 1 pound of lean ground beef, half a cup of water, a 1/4 cup of sherry, 1 teaspoon of Tabasco sauce, a 1/3 cup of raisins, a 1/4 cup of tomato paste, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and some salt and pepper to taste. And we are ready to start with the dough.
The dough.
Yes.
So just plain old all-purpose flour. And I just like to take the olive oil and dump it in, and I kind of like refer to it as I stir it around until the spoon doesn't seem to be doing any more good.
Right.
It kind of looks like you got little peas in there, you know, and it's just, that's pretty much it.
Right.
And then I like to take the salt and dump it into the water first and just give it a stir, just so that it dissolves.
Now you don't, see this is, I will be honest with you, I don't make enough dough to know that, to know really when to use the well. You know how you have to make a little well?
Right.
For this, you don't have to do that?
That's sort of more of a pasta thing. I mean, I guess someone's going to write in and say that their grandmother makes it that way, but I just do the spoon. And you can actually just, you kind of stir this around. You kind of become your own little mix master. And you know you're ready to dump this onto the counter and start rolling it or kneading it when it kind of cleans the ball itself. So I have one little test.
Well, that's quick and easy.
You take your fingers, go like this, they come out clean, you're good. If it looks like you have pancake batter on them, you need to try a little bit more, and if it still does that, you might want to add a little bit more flour.
Yeah, you really want it dry.
The kneading thing is, you just kind of now take it and you kind of smear it around in a circle, and you just keep doing this until at some point it looks pretty much matte finish and all one color. So at the beginning, sometimes because of the oil, it can be a little bit shiny. Right. And you can kind of see it's kind of got mottled colors. And that's because the water's not completely integrated and there's little blobs of oil. So I'm going to actually let you keep doing that.
Okay, yeah. Do we need to add flour?
We don't need to add flour.
At all?
If it sticks, yes. But if it doesn't, if it's sticking to the surface, then yes. But probably not. I don't usually do flour for that.
To do the perfect knead, you said you just kind of
smear it away and then turn it. Smear it away and turn it, yeah. And when it's really done, if you keep doing that, this side becomes pretty flat and smooth. The top's all kind of looks like a Shar-Pei, so it's kind of hard to tell when the dough's done. So you can turn it over and check the bottom for if it's smooth. Okay. Turn it. Okay. So while you do that, I'm going to get the filling going.
Yes, because it's all about the filling.
Right, and this is actually, it's a really easy filling, and mostly I want to show about how to get the dough and how they come together. So I did the pre-chopping, but in goes some olive oil and our diced up red pepper and onion. And in real time, you do this for like, 2, 3, 4 minutes and add the garlic, but I'm going to just kind of get it all going. Right. And then we add the ground beef.
The lean ground beef.
The lean ground beef. If you do lean ground beef, like I like to get the kind that's like, if you can get 87 or 90% lean, then you don't have to ever drain it. Because if you drain it, if you have 90% lean ground beef and you drain it, it's going to be all dry and it's going to have that kind of mealy texture.
And you want that flavor.
Right. So I would cook this until the ground beef is completely browned, and then I would start adding the other stuff. So I'm going to just get it all going because I already have some filling made for us.
I find it very interesting that you are using raisins in
fact, I omitted a couple things that when you hear about it, you think, oh, do they really go together? Traditionally, this would have some capers and some green olives chopped in it too.
With the raisins?
Yeah, but I know that this is sort of a, like, make it so that kids will eat it audience. So I took those out, but you could add them back in. So there's a little bit of water and some sherry, and you could use all water, and then if you do that, you just add a little bit of sugar because the sherry has a sweetness to it. Okay. But the sherry's kind of nice. That goes in, and then, cumin and cinnamon, salt, pepper, tomato paste, and the raisins. And it ultimately has a really, really nice flavor. It's funny, it's a traditional kind of Spanish influence thing, and there are a lot of different recipes for picadillo, depending on, if you're in the Caribbean versus if you're in Mexico. And really, feel free to play around with it and modify things. When you're done, you get this. Oh, I forgot the Tabasco. Okay, so Tabasco.
Well, and again, you can omit the Tabasco
if
your kids, right. If it's a little too spicy.
if you're like a make-ahead person, you can make the dough Friday night. You could make the filling Friday night, put them in the fridge. They're easier to work with when they rest anyway, and it's kind of cold. And then you can assemble them the next day.
Okay, if you are making it the same day, though, how long should you let it rest?
30 minutes.
30 minutes in the fridge, and then...
Right.
Does it need to get to room temperature?
30 minutes at room temperature, I'd let it rest.
Oh, got it. Okay, so you don't even have to put it in the fridge.
If I'm putting it in the fridge, then I want to actually leave it out for 30 minutes so it comes to room temperature.
Right. Okay, got it.
So you get dough like this.
So yes, that is the
I've portioned
after.
it out. So for this, we will have a little bit of flour for rolling out. You can have one. So you take the ball of dough.
Yes.
And you mash it between your hands and make a little patty. We're going to roll circles, and it's a lot easier to roll a circle if you start out with one.
Okay.
And then, here's a rolling pin.
Thank you.
Little ones. So the thing about rolling the dough, you don't want to start on the counter and roll on the edge. If you do, you're going to get like this little tail.
Yeah, it won't be even.
And once you do that, you can't really make it go back. I mean, a little bit, but... And so I start on the edge of the dough, and I roll to the edge. So on the edge, to the edge, stop, lift it up, turn the dough.
Okay.
And if you're getting a lot of sticking, you can even flour the rolling pin. And you just keep turning on the edge to the edge.
How thin do you want it?
Pretty thin. I mean, if you can really see all the dots in the granite through it, you're plenty thin, but not quite that thin. But for the size ball of dough that we had, you want to get a circle that's maybe 6 inches in diameter, which is kind of like I have here. Okay.
Oh wow, that is really thin. So a really thin pancake. Okay, yeah, I was being a little too gentle.
So, and then I'm going to take filling, and I'm going to put a couple, tablespoons of filling in the center. And you could sort of imagine you can make little dinky ones and serve them as hors d'oeuvres at a party. You could make big, huge ones, and
and make it a meal.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, a couple of these is a meal. So.
Right.
Then I'm going to just take this and I'm going to fold it over, and kind of going to press the dough.
It's like a tiny, tiny, tiny calzone.
It is, actually. Yeah. So in the recipe, I'll let you do the one with the fork.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
So there's a way to do it without a fork, and actually it's my favorite way, is instead of crimping it that way, I'm going to take the dough, now I'm going to fold it over one more time.
I feel like this is deja vu when I worked with Stephanie Green and we made barbecue calzones. That's exactly what we did.
Because then when you pull it this way to make it tight, it actually kind of pulls that tight.
Yeah.
And just press it down, and then I like to, twist the tips.
Right.
And basically put this, that's good. Put it on a cookie sheet, brush it with olive oil, and I didn't bring a knife today, so just put a little slit in the center because it needs a steam vent, otherwise it's going to do. Do you want me to do one more? Is there time? Or,
I would like you to do one more just to see, because I was kind of busy rolling it perfectly to watch.
Press the ball into a circle. Let me get the flour. Okay, so
when you put the meat in,
to the edge,
is it supposed to be right in the center, or should I have
either way? It's funny. Sometimes when I see that somebody's really having trouble getting the thing to fold over, I tell them to put it more over on one side. I tend to do it in the center.
Okay.
But the thing is, you turn the dough. If you're one of those people that does this, and you keep going back. Eventually, this is just going to be laminated to your counter, and you're going to have to scrape it off. When you turn the dough, it detaches it if it's sticking a little, and it lets you get a nicer circle, which ultimately gives you a better shape.
Not to mention, it just looked like you were dancing in the kitchen.
Maybe a little.
A little bit. With a bad movie in the background, right?
As long as there's not knives involved. Right?
Oh, no.
Dancing with knives sort of sounds dangerous.
Yes. So, okay.
Fold it over, and really just kind of press it down.
Oh, that? I did not. I skipped that step. I just started
If you crimped it, that's okay.
Okay.
And then you go like this. And then if you're old school, yes, you can fill up a skillet with oil and you can deep fry these.
Deep fry it.
But I actually really like brushing them with olive oil and baking them.
And then you do a little slit?
A little slit, yeah.
As I use my nail.
That's okay. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Any tool in the store. And then brush it.
Brush it with, and you like olive oil better than butter, or like an egg wash?
Either. I mean, it's funny. I'd rather use the oil or an oily related thing than the egg wash because the texture that you get when you do deep fried, if there's a little light oil on it, you kind of get that. Versus if you egg wash it, it just dries it out.
Oh, okay, got it. And so it would go in the oven.
Yes.
Okay. Or you could, again, deep fry it if you'd like. Are you looking for little mitts?
I am looking for a mitt.
You know what? Do you want to just use...
I can use some paper towels. That's wet.
Oh, yeah.
I'll steam it, and then I'll burn my hands in front of everybody.
No, that would not be good. Okay. And if you put it in the oven, how much and how long?
Everybody's oven is a little different.
Right.
But it's going to be about 18 or 20 minutes. But the dough should come out roughly French fry color. So if it looks all pasty white, it's not done.
It smells so
roughly
white
kind
too.
of French fry color. And these are just corn husks like that you would use for making tamales because I think they look nice underneath it. And if there is a little stuff dripping off of them, they're a little hot. So that one wasn't as hot, the one toward that.
I'm gonna try this one.
Since I know you don't want to burn your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. I've done enough of that. And how much is the temperature in the oven? How much will you put it in?
350, 375.
This is kind of hot.
For about 18, 20 minutes.
Ooh, that's really good.
You can make salsa.
I would want some salsa with it. Hey, Stacy, come on over here. Stacy Sullivan is with the Arizona Republic. He's my next interview, and we were talking before the show about what a huge, huge foodie he is. And we actually had a really in-depth conversation about salt and how a lot of foods are over-salted. This, however, didn't seem like it.
Does it seem?
No, it's not too
So I want you to try it.
Yeah. It's hot.
It
smells fantastic. You can smell
the foodie
sweet.
in you.
You can smell the raisins.
I know.
The raisins work.
Ooh, look at this. Oh, yum, 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 yum. That looks magnificent.
What does the
and it is
salt?
warm.
What does the salt do for the crust? What is that? Is there some
Crust
chemical
without
reaction?
salt would just actually taste off.
It's like flour.
Well, yeah, and kind of like, you know, like some candy's so sweet, you want to brush your teeth, but if there's just a pinch of salt in the recipe, even if you can't taste it, it's not cloyingly sweet.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the dough just doesn't taste right.
Oh.
You've got a little bit of the sweetness and then some of that smokiness from the cumin. I like that. Very nice, and it's not too spicy. This is lovely. Thank you so much. We'll definitely save one for Stacy upstairs. We got you covered, Stacy.
I've got mine.
And this Stacy, too.
I've got mine.
All right, up next, you need some ideas on dinner out with the family? Well, Stacy over here with the empanada. From the Arizona Republic, he is going to be telling us where you should go, so stay with us.